It's a great thing for our community. We always we survey all our participants. We do a economic impact study based off of that. In 2023, just on those 3 weekends alone, over $200,000 in economic impact was realized for our area. We had 87 local volunteers support those, and we had over 8,000 in local sponsorships. I want to give a special shout out to the theater and Clifton Forge Main Street, especially for the Grand Fondo. They're integral. Jenny I talk to Jenny, every week leading up to those events, and she is such a big help. The theater provided bands for us this year, and it really keeps people here longer once they finish the race, and once they're here longer, then they're going to decide to stay another night. They're going to go out and shop and dine and do the things. So we're really thankful for that support and Clifton Forge for those events. Next slide. All right, so I'll segue into a little bit of tourism, just kind of roll through that a little bit. Next slide. That photo was a Chuck Elmeret's photo, by the way. So the Alleghany Highlands is home to hundreds of miles of hiking trails, highly rated mountain biking trails. The mountain biking trails at Douthit State Park are widely considered the best in Virginia. It's an easily accessible we have easily accessible blueway, including 2 rivers and 2 lakes. That's Douthit Lake, Lake Moomaw, the Cowpasture River, and the Jackson River. Exceptional canoeing, kayaking, and fishing opportunities. The Jackson River is considered a blue ribbon trout fishery, which makes it a top 25 trout fishery in the United States. Not many people know that, but based on its temperature, crystal clear waters, it's an incredible fishery. Scenic drives in every direction. We do a ton of scenic drive promotion. Talk a little bit about that later. Charming downtowns with local shops, locally owned restaurants, coffee shops, and craft beer. Very much so in Clifton Forge, a vibrant arts and cultural attraction scene, especially in this building here. Historical sites and culture, and so much more. That's just kind of a broad look at everything, but I'll kind of break it down in my next few slides. Next. I had a question before, just kind of like I talked a little bit about in the beginning, but what is the area that the chamber covers from a tourism perspective? And it's, as you can see, the Alleghany County map there, basically everything within the Alleghany County borders. Next slide. All right, so they'll all say quality of life, but they'll have a different emphasis. Obviously, when you have an area that is about 49% national forest, I think is the number now, you have a ton of natural beauty, and we really pick up on that. That's something that we promote. I mean, there's, during the COVID pandemic, we did well as a region in visitation because we had the wide open spaces. We had the areas where you could get out and social distance and still, do a nice hike or kayak and feel safe. So there's a ton of natural beauty. Obviously, the stunning views of the rolling hills, the mountains and waterways. The North Mountain Overlook is probably one of my favorite overlooks in the Alleghany Highlands. I mentioned the clear waters, the Cowpasture, the Jackson, Lake Moomaw. Obviously, you can see there, gorgeous water that you can definitely see through. We were at the Lake Moomaw swim this couple, the end of August 17th, I believe. And the winner of the race came up and he said, I was just swimming last weekend in the Cape Fear River in North Carolina. He said, I couldn't see what was around me, under me, and the water was black. And he said, I love this. I'm coming back. He was like, this was the nicest, most clear, beautiful lake I've ever seen. So we get stuff like that all the time. Obviously, 4-season charm. I think all 4 seasons are represented in the photos. And as you know, like I said, 49% national forest. It is an outdoor haven for hiking, biking, fishing, water recreation, camping, picnicking, and scenic drives. Next slide. Segueing right into outdoor recreation, this is the low-hanging fruit, so to speak. Over 100 miles of hiking trails for all skill levels. The Jackson River Scenic Trail is completely flat, or you can go to Douthit and really challenge yourself, or a North Mountain. Fishing is wonderful just about everywhere you turn. If you're not talking about the 2 rivers and lakes, then you very much have a lot of little streams and tributaries that are wonderful to fish as well. Overlanding, if you're not familiar with that, that's something that has really become a big deal lately. That's this bottom right photo. It's basically tent camping on top of your vehicle. They have tents that pop up right here. And with all the Forest Service roads that we have throughout our community, this is a wonderful thing that we've seen a lot of people really enjoying. It's basically traveling off-roading in a respectable way. You're not tearing things up, but also stopping and camping, enjoying nature while you're there. Obviously, camping, Douthit is a wonderful spot to camp, as well as Lake Moomaw, and golf courses, and then wildlife watching is something that's not mentioned often, but it is a big deal in this area, and we're very fortunate to have that. Next slide. All right, the arts. Incredible art scene, especially here in downtown Clifton Forge. With this facility, the Historic Masonic Theater, the Clifton Forge School of the Arts, the Alleghany Highlands Arts and Crafts Center, the C&O Railway Heritage Center. Everything is right within a walkable distance. The art scene in our area just continues to grow, continues to make its mark. We are so excited about that. There's so many things you can do just from the pictures that we've got here. But as you know, Sam Bush is coming in this weekend here to the theater. The amount of educational art classes that you can get at the School of the Arts is just really second to none. You don't see that in a lot of places. So being able to have that, especially when you think about tourism, but also as a local resident, that's a great thing to have. The Arts and Crafts Center has been in business, I'll just say, since forever. So it's just wonderful to have that. Chuck talked a little bit about the C&O Railway Heritage Center and all the efforts that are going to be tied in to make that an even better facility than it already is. There's just a lot from an arts standpoint in our community. We really promote this. Years ago, we put together a tourism video right coming out of the pandemic, because the arts venues were one of the ones that were hit pretty hard with the pandemic, just because of having to be inside, sitting in closer quarters. So we put together a video and a whole marketing campaign called Heart of the Highlands, and we capitalized ART in the letter heart, or in the word heart. It's been very successful. It's where a lot of the still shots came from these photos. And it's something that, we definitely are running dedicated campaigns to the arts from a tourism perspective, and we've seen that it's been a great driver of tourism in our community. Next slide. Cultural heritage, definitely have a ton of historic landmarks. We have Civil War trail markers, museum landmarks. All the efforts that are going on at Green Pastures right now are incredible. The story out there is just something that needs to be told. The C&O, obviously, the theater, the Oakland Cemetery. There's just a ton of cultural heritage in our region. There's a specific demographic of people when it comes to tourism that really want to see all of these offerings. And it's something that we definitely promote from a tourism perspective. We target it to various age groups, and we see a lot of visitation to the area just to see about the historical icons that we have in our community. Next slide. Scenic drives on our website. This is one of our most visited pages on our website. We have mapped out several scenic drives. They all cross through both towns. We make sure that we want to have people start and end in downtowns. We want them to once they're finished, to do a little shopping and maybe a little eating as well. But like I said, I keep going back with about 49% national forest lands. There is a lot of scenic beauty, and you only have to get out of your car to see it. So we've definitely mapped out a lot of routes for that. There's a ton of places you can see, a lot of great love works in our community. And this is something, we just did a post today promoting scenic drives in the fall. That's a big season for scenic drives in the spring and the fall, when you have the flowers and then the foliage. There's always people out just doing this, and we've seen, based on our statistics that from our advertising that lead back to this page, that this is something that is a very big driver of tourism in our region. Next one. Love Work signs, we promote, like kind of checking those out, like a Love Works trail. We have obviously this beautiful one out in the back of this facility. You have that on the top is Blue Spring Run Farm. Not many people know about that, but it's very unique with the bee boxes. Obviously Humpback Bridge, and then downtown Covington's Love Work as well. There's a fifth one at the Welcome Center as you are going towards White Sulphur. They have one as well. So for an area our size to have 5 Love Work signs is pretty cool, and we try to pair those experiences together where you can kind of hit all of those at one time, do a photo op and enjoy it. And we all love the one that we have out here in Clifton Forge and how unique it is, and the fact that you can view it in the evening. Next slide. I mentioned videos. We do a lot of tourism videos over the years. These are still images from those. We have an arts video specifically that I talked about. We have an outdoor recreation video. We have a video that markets our downtown communities. And then we have kind of an all-encompassing one that kind of blends all of that together. But with the emergence of digital advertising, short form video especially, these have become a great marketing tool for our area. They're so well done, and we use those continuously. I know the Arts one has thousands upon thousands of views. We link them to our YouTube, we post them on Facebook, we put them everywhere. We use them for advertising. I sent them, we did some advertising for the Blue Ridge games with WSLS 10, and I sent them the videos, and the person that I was working with emailed back, he said, "Josh, this footage is incredible, can we use it in our overall promotion too?" And I was like, "Well, don't ask me that, yes, do that." Just a great tool for marketing, and I wanted to include that. Just some examples of our advertising that we do. This is both print and digital. This is a new ad campaign that started probably a little less than a year ago now, but anytime you're flipping through a magazine, the key is to get people to stop flipping and draw their eyes to something. That's why you have that big call to action there, that adventure times 3, that scenery times 3. And then the trend in market and tourism right now is what they're calling mini-cations, where people are really, a lot of people don't want to spend money on a whole week's vacation, so they're taking a long weekend. So we're like, make a 3-day weekend out of it. We paired it to that, and that's where you have that times 3. But basically, get their eyes there first. That's the big tagline, that gets their eyes there. Then draw them in with the beautiful photos, and then give them some good information to want to visit your area. So that's a little bit of the thought process behind that. We advertise in magazines across the country. We do digital, we do radio, we do TV. We really do it all. And this is just some examples of what we have done. Next slide. I wanted to just talk a little bit about some numbers just for marketing before I segue into some things specific for Clifton Forge. We have 3 major brochures: our Blue Way Guide, our Trails Guide, and our overall Visitor Guide. In 2023, we used to reprint these brochures every other year, sometimes 2 years in between. We gave out 30,000 in 1 year last year. That's never happened before. The demand continues to rise. We had to print it back-to-back years just because of that. So that we're continuing to give out more and more of these, and we're not just throwing them out there and hoping it sticks. They're coming in from leads, from advertising, where people have specifically asked for information on the Alleghany Highlands. We're putting them in the welcome bags for all of our outdoor events, website leads. There's a number of ways. They're, of course, in all the welcome centers around the state. So that tourism literature is really all over. That's just a screenshot in the middle from our website, visit AlleganyHighlands.com. In 2023, and a lot of these stats are from 2023 because we'll calculate all of 2024 at the end of the year to make sure the numbers are accurate. But in 2023, we had over 100,000 page views, and our #1 most viewed page is places to stay. And from a tourism perspective, that's exactly what you want, because you want people looking at planning their trip to the area so that they can come and visit. Our Facebook page has been really an incredible marketing asset for us. It wasn't, I think a year and a half ago, we had 7,000 and change followers, and in a year and a half, we're almost 23,000 followers, and we're just continuing to grow. This is just looking harder at our marketing efforts and how do we attract more people. We can put, I'm pretty sure that's the most followed page in our region. It is a big deal. We had over 1 million accounts reached in 2023, and we know that number is going to be higher in 2024 just because we continue to grow the page. And like I said, the #1 driver of traffic to our website is social media, and it accounts for 48% of all traffic. So people are seeing what we're doing there, and they're taking that and going straight to our website, and hopefully they're going to places to stay and planning their trip. So I just wanted to share some really exciting stats from a tourism perspective. I'll roll through these pretty quick, but just our Google Analytics, that's where some of that had come through, some of the stats had come from. But just so you can see, from 2022 to 2023, we're seeing a 55% increase in user traffic year after year. The industry average is in the teens. It's that great. We're really buying in hard on our digital advertising, capitalizing on emerging trends from digital marketing, and the results are really showing that. Next slide, please. Email marketing, I won't spend much time on that, but we do send out our newsletters, and then we do a little bit of advertising through paid email that goes out to some targeted users who very much have an interest in what we're doing. As you can see, those open rates are much higher than the industry average, as well as the click-through rates, which just means they opened it and then they actually made an action and clicked on something. So, next slide. All right, so I'll dive deeper. How all that stuff I just talked about is kind of translated into Clifton Forge. As I mentioned, the arts, we promote the performing and visual arts very heavily each year, including the Historic Masonic Theater, the Clifton Forge School of the Arts, the Alleghany Highlands Arts and Crafts Center, and the C&O Railway Heritage Center. We also have a arts stakeholders group that we meet with monthly. We get everybody we can in the community that has some sort of vested interest in the arts or works for the arts. We put them all in the room together, and this is in an effort to cross-promote events, share grant opportunities, marketing insight, and it also provides an opportunity to connect with other businesses and provide overall support. There's a lot of support that has come out of that. There's great synergy in that group. We can share, I'll talk a little bit about co-op marketing grants that we have through the Chamber for Tourism-Based Businesses. A lot of that support has come out of that group. So that's a very good tool for our area to help further the arts and get everybody together on the same page. Down at State Park, I wanted to mention that, as many of you are like, well, Josh, down at State Park is 75% of it's in Bath County. But we know that over 300,000 people visit Douthat State Park a year. Those people, they're going to do their shopping, they're going to do their dining, and they're going to get their gas in Clifton Forge. And so we promote the heck out of Douthat State Park, knowing that all of those people coming are going to come into Clifton Forge and enjoy what the town has to offer while they're on their vacation. And that's really going to positively influence the town's economic impact. We have a very unique B&B scene, and in Clifton Forge specifically, I would say the majority of the B&B and the unique lodging that we have in the area is in Clifton Forge, and we promote that so hard. We have a lack of chain lodging in the Alleghany Highlands, so this B&B market is so important to the success of our entire community from a tourism perspective. We run several marketing campaigns. Here in the bottom right is just one of them on social. We also just recruited a travel writer to the area from Rider Magazine. Really hits that motorcycle market, that scenic drive market. They stayed at Ridgely Bed Breakfast and Gardens. They put together a 4-page spread. That's the start of it up top in the far right corner is downtown Clifton Forge. Majority of this article features Clifton Forge. That's where they stayed. Great things said. Just on Facebook alone, this magazine has over 300,000 followers. It is a big deal, and the B&B scene, like I said, is the #1 most viewed page on our website is places to stay. And it's because we put so much into promoting that B&B scene, because we want to drive people to those bed and breakfasts, and because we know they're going to have such a wonderful experience and come back.